July and I'm just about to do a plot tour and harvest some vegetables for my stir fry that I'm going to have for lunch today. So let's see how things are going. Here are the girls. We've got Emma down there, Claire, Debbie and Sam. They've been doing really well, but they're slightly off lay at the moment because of the heat in the UK. Well, this part of the UK has been in the 30s and that for us is hot. I'm going to have a couple of zucchinis. I think in America they're called, but here we call them courgettes. I've got one there. I'm going to use that in my stir fry. I think there's another one underneath I can use. There's two there. So the plot has been really productive. Strawberries, okay, the rat got most of them, so that's one of the joys of living surrounded by fields, is your rat and mouse population is huge. So this will be a full-on fruit cage next year, so I'll share that project with you. So I'm back to doing the voiceover, sat on the bench near the pond. So the kohlrabi were looking amazing until the rats got them. There are a few still here that they haven't eaten. It's such a shame, but I'm going to have to build that fruit cage to keep them out. The chard, this is the second sowing of the chard. That's been stunning, and I've picked loads of this and I've been using it in stir fries, and that's the whole of the plant. We've got the sweet corn here, a bit dwarf, but it's doing alright. Lettuce here is bolted slightly, but I've still been using it. It's not too bitter at the moment. And then I've got the lettuce underneath this. Here we have bird net, root coriander. Here we've got the leeks, coriander, and the lettuces that I was just talking about, and they are growing under the netting to stop the pigeons eating them, or the piggins as I call them. More chard there as well, and then over this side we've got the celeriac and what's left of the Shiraz mangetout, which have been fantastic but are drying up and going over. I'm going to pick some of this kale now because I've been going to use that in stir fry, and I've been using that over the last few weeks and it's been quite productive. You take from the bottom up so that if you harvest that way you'll get taller plants and fresh leaves at the top. Popping back to get the kohlrabi, one of the good ones that are left. Trying to do this with one hand. Absolutely stunning. They always have that kind of bloom on them, so when you touch them you kind of leave a fingerprint on them. You can just about see it there. Pop it in a basket, and then I'm going to pop the other half of the allotment and see what else I can pick. I think I'm going to have a go at picking some of the chard. So that's looking back through to the sweet corn, the runner beans. That's small Shiraz peas there that have dried out. Look at these blueberries. I've got blueberries and yellow berries here, or yellow blueberries, or blue yellow berries. Not quite sure which, but they taste absolutely amazing. I've netted these fully to stop the birds from getting to them, but there is a crazy blackbird that keeps risking it under the netting. The fruit cage has got to be built soon because I can't risk these birds getting caught in the netting. Some potatoes at the back there. Oh gosh, that's a huge stinging nettle. I've left a patch of stinging nettles, but I don't want it in the fruit area. More potatoes. These are second earlies, so I'll start harvesting these. And like I said, back over where we've been planting, the leeks are doing really well, but they're going to need a good water. And then the rooted celery. Going back to harvest some. Oh, there's my knife. Weirdo. So this is the runner bean arch, and then to the chard, and I'm just going to harvest some of this chard. Some of it's bolted and I've been giving that to the chickens. But there's some fantastic plants in here, in amongst the Brussels sprouts, which have no sprouts on them. So note to self to plant some more of those. It's a real pain in the neck having to net everything, but it's more of a heartache if you don't, because literally the pigeons are flying in and just ripping it apart. So looking at the allotments, which are now the pumpkin patch. Sorry, I meant the compost bins, which are now the pumpkin patch. There's a pumpkin, oh hey, size of my palm. I think the rats are probably going to eat them. I think I can give up with those. Sign that says pumpkin patch. And there they are. They are growing into the bushes now. The carrot bed, still not had a chance to thin that out. And then I've taken the peas from this end and the pea support, so I'm letting the horseradish and the rhubarb spread itself. There we go, there's the carrot bed. What a mess, what a tangled mess. Need to sort that out. And some more of the parsnips, my favourite crop, but they've not really put on a great amount of size yet in the actual tuber, but we'll wait and see. Or the root. Raspberry canes, they're okay but not brilliant. And then looking back through where I've planted some spinach and then the runner bean arch. So these are finally caught up. They were really slow to start off. If you remember rightly, they got frosted right at the beginning of the year. But now they seem to be catching up. And this is my third sowing of chard. And then some outdoor tomatoes. These are the ones that I had no room for in the greenhouse. Well, hey, that's a nice bunch of chard there you have, Heidi. And I'm just going to cook this down and into my stir fry. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate each and every one of you for commenting, and for all of you that have private messaged me over the last few months to say how much you're enjoying these videos. Thank you and goodbye.